Inequalities involving absolute value. The inequality of absolute value of x is less than 3. Please be quiet. Means that the distance between x and 0 is less than 3. So the solution set is negative x is less than 3, which is less, or negative 3 is less than x, which is less than 3. So the absolute value of x, alright, the distance between x and 0 is less than 3. It cannot be greater than 3. Write this down. Solve the inequality and then graph. The absolute value of m plus 2, be quiet please. The absolute value of m plus 2 is less than 11. So this is, we did problems like this before. We have two cases. The first case is where m plus 2 is positive. So we treat this as m plus 2 is less than 11. Okay, we treat it just like this is a positive. It gives us a positive answer. So we subtract 2 to both sides. M is less than 9. All right, that's case 1. All right, now we do case 2 where m plus 2 is negative. So we make m plus 2 negative. Hush. Okay, so we make m plus 2 negative. I want to get rid of this negative sign, so I would divide by negative 1. That leaves me with m plus 2. Okay. We have to change our sign because I divided by a negative number. And 11 times 11 divided by negative 1 is negative 11. So we switch our sign and make our answer negative. Now we solve it just like we've been doing. So m is greater than
113.
Negative 13. So we graph our m is less than 9 and our m is greater than negative 13. M is anywhere between here. So if m is between these numbers, it becomes true. Any questions?
What'd you do?
Solve the inequality and then graph. The absolute value of y minus 1 is less than negative 2. Can absolute value have a negative distance?
No.
No, you can't solve this. Okay, it's not possible for the absolute value of y minus 1 to be less than negative 2 because the absolute value of y minus 1 cannot be negative. So there's no solution. This is an empty set.
So that's how we did it.
That is how you solved it.
We would have got it wrong.
Write this down. The inequality x, the absolute value of x is greater than 3, means that the distance between x and 0 is greater than 3. So that was how we would graph it. The solution set is x is less than 3, and then what? X is less than negative 3 or x is greater than 3. So meaning the distance between x and 0 is greater than 3. Write down this problem. Okay, case 1. Be quiet. Case 1. 3n plus 6 is non-negative. So 3n plus 6. The absolute value of 12. We subtract 6 to both sides. 3n is greater than or equal to 6. We divide by 3. n is greater than or equal to 2.
Yeah.
Now we do case 2 where 3n plus 6 is negative. So we make this positive, making this negative, changing the sign. So that's what dividing by negative 1 does. We subtract 6. Divide by 3. N is less than or equal to negative 6. So we graph that. N is less than or equal to. Going this way. We also need to graph N is greater than or equal to 2. So there we go. Write this down. This is the absolute value of r minus 6 is greater than or equal to negative 5. The absolute value of r minus 6 is always going to be what?
Positive.
Positive. So will it always be greater than negative 5?
Yes.
Yes. R does not, will it matter whatever r is?
No.
No, because it will always be greater than a negative number because it will always be positive, right? So our answer to this is r, okay, is a real number.
Crap.
Yeah, I got a question.
No, there's